Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, good afternoon for you. So, so thanks for reaching out for this webinar. And it's actually good to talk to everyone who's in UIT just now and how are things going on there. But uh, I picked up this topic for to talk about innovation in disruptive companies because I think that is a skill which is quite demanding just now, and it's going to be even more demanding in the future. Has their own reasoning behind it. My reasoning behind both my education was that after doing bachelor's, I was well equipped to do design work in oil industry, and the company I was working for, or the projects we used to get were to build certain type of machinery to be deployed on seabed. But for me, I wanted to learn a bit more about the wider aspects of the industry. So I wanted to understand just in oil, how are ships, how are FPSOs, the ships which carry oil, how are they designed, how they operate, how is the processing done in refineries, and how are the oil platforms work. So I wanted to gain knowledge in all of that area. That's why I came to do masters in oil and gas engineering, which covered all of these aspects. And it was good to do it after 1 year of experience because things started to become clearer. And I had students who had, like my classmates, who had absolutely no work experience. And it was a bit difficult for them to grasp things because they haven't seen anything in practice before. Uh, so that was one thing. Even like our module, one of the module was risk assessment and project management, and there was the huge struggle for the people who came straight after university because they have never seen managed any projects hands on. So, and all the theory you learn in project management, certifications, etc., they are not 100% applicable everywhere. You have to tailor yourself to manage different things. So, experience is good. MBA, in my case, I'm still doing it. Like it's gonna get completed by November. It's an executive MBA. Three more months left for me. But my main intention behind MBA was that I was progressing within Amazon. Everyone has their own reasoning behind it. My reasoning behind both my education was that after doing bachelor's, I was well equipped to do design work in oil industry. And the company I was working for, or the projects we used to get were to build certain type of machinery to be deployed on seabed. But for me, I wanted to learn a bit more about the wider aspects of the industry. So I wanted to understand just in oil, how are ships, how are FPSOs, the ships which carry oil, how are they designed, how they operate, how is the processing done in refineries, and how are the oil platforms work. So I wanted to gain knowledge in all of that area. That's why I came to do masters in oil and gas engineering, which covered all of these aspects. And it was good to do it after 1 year of experience because things started to become clearer. And I had students who had, like my classmates, who had absolutely no work experience. And it was a bit difficult for them to grasp things because they haven't seen anything in practice before. I'll give you an example of some of my seniors when I was in UIT and some of my classmates, right? My seniors again were from mechanical engineering, but they knew about all different areas because they used to talk to people a lot from different branches, had friends there, and they were very keen on learning new things. उस टाइम पे कोडिंग वेबसाइट्स या कोडिंग स्किल्स पिकअप कर रहे थे. देयर weren't as many resources अगर जस्ट कोडिंग का आइडिया उठाया जाए. तो आज इतने सारे कोडिंग वेबसाइट्स अवेलेबल हैं that you can just register and start to learn from basics up. Uh, a lot of knowledge is out there. It's all available. It's not. You have to find time. You have to invest effort to find it. And within UIT, from my experience itself, now my group of friends that time, we were very super active outside UIT as well. I don't think we ever missed any tech fest or any competition that time. When we picked up a project, we reached a wall, we couldn't understand where to go from it. We went to that department, got hold of different professors who teach, and honestly, they were super helpful. they really appreciated that times. I remember moments with YP sir in electronics, I think now. He sat us down, told us entire thing about how we can connect to have the glider working. So you have to put your effort in. One thing I've
Yes.
learned is you are responsible for your own development. You have to go out, you have to talk to people to gain knowledge from them. They cannot teach. That's why in first year they let you learn about all the other branches so that you have that introductory foundation. But after that, when you pick up a project and you're relying just on university, that's not going to happen. You have to yourself put in some effort and learn different things to understand where you're leading, in what space you're leading. A leader in a military is different than a leader in a corporate company just now. You have to find your own leadership style, what sort of leader you are. I've worked with some leaders who are very task oriented, who get their team to align on XYZ. This is what we have to do. I've also worked with my leaders. For example, my manager just now, he's a very, I would say, he leads in a mentoring style. So, and trust. So once he doesn't interfere in my program, he expects me to go to him when I run into a problem. He focuses a lot on how am I developing myself. Am I reading enough from other spaces? Am I building my new skills? Am I learning more about, for example, he put me on a committee to lead a committee for diversity, inclusion, and belonging, where it was a huge learning for me. How do we integrate different cultures within our team? How do we appreciate working with people from different races, different sexual orientations, different family backgrounds? How do we address them? How do we understand what their constraint, their mindset would be like, and how do we respect that and use their strengths within our team? So there are different approaches, different tools, depending on the problem, obviously, right? So I've been talking a lot about engineering, so I'll give you an example about project management side of things. So now, for example, in my team, I have a lot of project managers now. Um, and sometimes those project managers run into an issue saying that they are not getting the expected level of cooperation from other teams. They're not getting the information they want from other teams. So all you can do is, or my style so far is, I provide them the right contacts. Go and talk to this person. If you're not getting help from here, go to that person and talk. If you again run into an issue, then I would talk to the head of that department and say, right, we need this information. It's becoming a blocker for us. So can you move on with it? When it comes about creativity blockage or blockage into their day-to-day responsibilities, that is where you have a red flag. That is where you try to dive deep into that aspect, understand if there is a knowledge gap. If there is a knowledge gap, that is fine. What I do in that case is I allocate a training to them for an hour or 2 hours and then set 1 hour time with them to talk to them about that. What did you learn from that training? Do you think this is something that will help you to move forward further? I try to avoid doing the job for them. Uh, like, you, for example, a document comes through and there is something wrong with it. I can easily edit it, but that's going to solve the problem for today, not for long run. So I allocate them a training about writing business cases. They will go, they'll find their problem, they'll fix it. So that is the approach about from mentoring perspective that you can take. Sometimes when you're on a tight timeline, there is no room for this. That time you provide a quick training yourself, half an hour. Guys, this is wrong. If I present it like this, someone's going to get a different idea, so get on with it and uh, change it, really. And after that we talk about those things.